Did you know Americans had $7.4 trillion invested in 401ks at the end of last year? And further, they had 13.6 trillion invested in IRA accounts at the end of last year. And that's only in America. So why is it? Why is it that everywhere I go, north, south, east, west, or central, or on the internet, is it that most people say the reason that they're not investing in real estate is because they don't have the money. So here today, in today's video, I'm here to kind of help you peel back the layers, open up your mind, update and upgrade your operating systems, because the most important computer that we're all working with is the real estate that's in between our two ears here. This real estate, this is the most important computer. And yet we very rarely update it. We're always updating our phones, our operating systems on our Roku's, on our TVs and our computers. But when is the last time we updated our mental capacity? And we're walking around with this all day, all right? So let's get you into getting your next piece of real estate. Let's push you over the edge. Let's go. Okay, class, it's Kris Haskins with therealestateroundup.com. My mission and ministry is to raise your financial literacy through real estate investing and entrepreneurship. I want to thank my boy Jody and my beautiful daughter and Theo for being here today. Rest of everybody, thank you. My daughter put together the name of this new session that we're doing, 7 o'clock Saturday session, the triple S session. We are going to commit my time with my obsession to raising your financial literacy. With my commitment to helping you raise your financial literacy, I have to make sure to take the time out of my life to pour into you. And in order to do that, I've got to leave my house from time to time. So if you're interested in learning about our 7 o'clock Saturday sessions, there's going to be a link below. You can find out all about that. So today, I need to open up your mind, because most of us think that this huge challenge of buying a piece of real estate is the money. If I just had the money, oh, Kris, I would get it. I'm waiting to get my money right. I bump into people every day around the country. I don't care where I go. I'm just waiting to get the money right. I gotta wait. I gotta get my money. And I submit to you, I gotta challenge you, because if the man that you see here standing today started in the real estate business before I had my money right. Okay, I need us to all understand that. So raise your hand to say before. Okay, before I had my money right. So I'm reading a book now. It's called Tools of Empire. This book is about how nations developed this technology, right? These different technologies to take over the world. And what came to my mind as I was reading this book was technology is extremely important for us to gain leverage in business. So one of the stories that sticks out in my mind, guys, is crazy. So these dudes, they were developing the steamship over time, and the steamship went over to China and they destroyed China or whatever, and they took over the land. And then they developed the gun and then the machine gun. And the leverage that these people had going into Africa was the machine gun. And the stories that I'm reading as I'm reading this book, I'm thinking about a few hundred people having machine guns, being able to completely wipe out an entire tribe of Africans. We're talking about 10,000. The story says it right there. A few of these people went over there with these machine guns, and I'm just envisioning them just unloading these machine guns, just wiping out thousands of Africans within a few days, right? So I'm saying all this to say, I love my people, number one. Number two, leverage. Do you understand what leverage is and how it works? Because I had no idea what leverage was until maybe 10 years ago. You see, they went to Africa, they had the leverage of the machine gun. And so why is it that we think today that we can just merely get in business without using any leverage? Why? Why do we think this? I have to help us raise our level of vibration and frequency going into our brains, because if you do not, there are going to be some people that will be stuck in the same situation this time next year. There are going to be some people that are stuck in this same situation in 5 years. There will be some people that are stuck in the exact same position that you're in right now in 10 years if you do not update and upgrade your frequencies in your mind, okay? Why do we think that we have to have this money to buy real estate when we're looking, and these stats are according to Investment Company Institute. Sorry about that. I got to make sure I do my footnote. I don't come up with these numbers. Okay. So let's understand how real estate, let me give you the big picture of how real estate is, all right? So in real estate, you've got two wheels, or let's call them two cranks. I want you to imagine these cranks. You know, if you were to go into, let's just say, a clock tower, and you see the clock moving and you see all the gears moving and they're all working together and they're making the hands of time go around. The first wheel in real estate is going to be money. Money makes real estate work. Money is the tail that wags the dog. Or is it a dog with a tail? I don't know. Which one is it? Is it the dog or the tail? Okay, the other wheel in the real estate business, or let's call it the other crank that we have to learn how to focus on, is going to be houses or product. So you have two options if you want to be a savvy or a successful real estate investor, two options and two options only. You can either focus on money or you can focus on product. Okay, so you could raise your hand. Which one do you want to focus on? How many people want to focus on raising money? That's me. I focus on raising money. That is one of the things that I pride myself in being able to master. How many people want to focus on finding real estate? Okay. I'm not necessarily the best real estate finder. I do it. I have a team that does it with me. But I have come to the conclusion that I am infinitely better at raising money, finding money than finding houses. Well, Kris, what do you mean finding money? My wife always says, Kris, how the hell did you find? She says, my mom always talks about she got to go find her some money so she can go gambling. This is my wife talking. And then I said, I got to find the other day I had to find 160,000 to buy a piece of real estate. She goes, Kris, how in the hell do you go out and find money? That's the secret. I have focused thousands of hours on understanding how to find money. I've focused thousands of hours learning how to buy money. Kris, what do you mean buy money? Well, I'm so glad you asked that you did that. You see, in the real estate business, there's money, product. The magic is, it doesn't have to be your money. Leverage. Remember the story that we talked about at the beginning of our session here. Leverage. The people with the machine guns murdering all the people over there. I know it was bloody. It is what it is. The leverage we get to use is other people's money. Other people's money. Doesn't have to be your money. Why is it that we can't get this through our head? Doesn't have to be our money. It don't got to be your money, y'all. If I were to have said, I'm not going to get into real estate until I got the money, I would never have got in. I just wouldn't have got in. So you have to overcome that as well. So money is nothing but another product. Somebody say product. I want you to envision walking in the grocery store. My favorite grocery store is Walmart. Yeah, I'm cheap. Who likes Target? My wife likes Target. What's your favorite store? You Walmart or Target? Publix. Oh, you uppity. Which one do you like? Food Line. Food Line. Oh, damn. You went all the way over there. Let's say Food Line. We're walking through Food Line, right? We're walking through Food Line. We see some of the things I like to buy. My favorite is trail mix. You know, you got the little chocolate and the peanuts. Oh, man, I can taste it now in my mouth. And then we're going to go get some eggs and milk. We're walking through the aisles, and then all of a sudden we're walking through the aisle, and bam, we see an aisle with buckets of money. Now, I had to understand this concept myself. You have to understand this before you can even believe that this is possible. Let me say that one more time. You have to understand this concept before you can even believe that this is possible. So you're walking through the grocery store, you see all the soda, the potato chips, and the candy bars, and bam, you come upon an aisle, a section that has buckets of money. You see, that money has a price, just like everything else in the grocery store. Now, the goal of a savvy and successful real estate entrepreneur is to mitigate the cost of that money. So in order for us to do business, doesn't got to be our money. We just have to find the money that we can buy. I have a saying, I would rather find or buy money than go out there and earn it. Let me say that one more time. I would rather find and buy money than go earn it. My wife's like, man, you just crazy. You on some mess. What do you mean? You see, when you earn money, my real estate roundup homies, what do you have to pay on earned money? My daughter knows this real good. Taylor, what do you have to pay when you earn money?
Labor.
You have to pay something else. Every dollar you make, you got to pay somebody else. Taxes. But however, when you borrow somebody else's money, it's already there. They have already earned it and paid the taxes on it. So now all you get to do is use it. Okay? So we're walking down the grocery store. We see the money there. Okay, this top shelf money here is going to cost me 12%. Middle shelf might cost me 8%. Bottom shelf, let's say this money is going to cost me 4% APR. So this money is going to have a price. And as we said at the beginning of our presentation, we've got, what's 13 plus 7? We've got almost $20 trillion in these retirement accounts that is available to us, not all of it, a portion of it, to use to buy and sell real estate. All right. Now, when you're borrowing this money, the problem is a lot of us think we have a money problem. It's not that you have a money problem. I submit to you today that we in life have a belief system problem, and we're going to get to that. All right, so money, we talked here. Now, there are only two types of money when you're getting into investing: credit-based money and non-recourse. Credit-based money and non-recourse. So one side of the money is going to be tied to your credit. That's if you screw up, your credit goes in the trash. Non-recourse money, you screw up, doesn't hit your credit, but they could possibly take the asset. All right, so you got to know the difference between the two. Credit card is going to be credit-based money. Okay, so I like to use non-recourse. Non-recourse doesn't go on your credit, doesn't count against your DTI, what is it, debt to income ratio, doesn't lower your ability to borrow. It doesn't show up anywhere on an income sheet when you go to the bank. How do I know? Because I've done this several times. All right, so the other wheel in real estate, which we're not going to spend too much here, is your product. So you've got money and product. Money and product. So we're constantly in our real estate businesses. These wheels, right? They're working together like the clock. They're making the clock work. Sometimes you got to crank up the product wheel, looking for more deals. And sometimes you have to crank up the money wheel. So today's training, I didn't want to get too deep. I mean, there's so much I have to teach you, but we want to stay on the money side because that's what people think they need. The product, we have so many different systems to locate these pieces of real estate. And let me just challenge you by saying, if you put in 10, 20, 30 real estate offers, you haven't even touched the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the real estate business. You are like below sea level. Call me when you put in 100 offers, okay? So we put in offers every day. Well, not necessarily me and my team from time to time. We put in offers every day, and I don't necessarily get worried about the product side as much because I understand the rule of averages. The rule of averages tell me if I make 100 offers, I'm going to get at least one house. Same thing, if I ask 100 people for money, guess what's going to happen? Somebody's going to loan me some money, right? And a lot of us are thinking, well, my credit ain't that good. I don't know. Forget talking about your credit. I haven't used my credit since 2010. Okay, so let's get back to the money side because that's what today we're talking about. What up, Roundup family? Thank you so much for watching my video. Listen, early bird registration is open right now. I'm inviting you to come to my subject to lease option workshop where you're going to spend several days with me. I'm going to teach you exactly how we buy real estate without paying off the seller's mortgage. We just take over their loan payments. This is a magical strategy that very few Americans know about. And it doesn't require you to put up any of your credit. You don't turn in any tax returns. There's not even a bank application. There's no lender blocking you out from building your real estate empire. So get registered up in the video description below. You're gonna see the dates and the times and all of this stuff. I look forward to hanging out with you and come network, meet other investors so you can get out there and deploy these strategies to build your real estate empire or just get a house for you and your family. Let's get back to the video. What is it? Be, do, have. Be, do, have. See, here is so crazy as I'm getting older in my life. I hear so many things and I get to hear my daughters talk and I hear my wife talk and I'm like, this is interesting. A lot of people think the exact same way you guys do. And then they ask me questions and they say I speak in riddles. So I'm trying to make sure that I speak in a way that everybody can understand. My wife says, Kris, you're always speaking in riddles. I mean, why are you? The thing is, if I just tell you to go do something, it might not have enough impact on you to go do it. But if I frame it up in a story, maybe you'll visualize that and go out there and try it. So everybody wants to start with the have. The have is what? The financing. Everybody wants the money. And I would submit to you, even if I gave you $150,000 today, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do? You can't go spend it on yourself. You can't go drinking, drugging, sex, and party and traveling and doing that because what is that going to do to my money? It's going to make it go away. So before you get to the financing here, which is the have, we're talking about financing today. Financing. You guys have no idea how hard it is to write on this board. I mean, I'm telling you, writing on a piece of paper is easy, but if you get up here, your mind just goes. Financing. Everybody wants to if I just had the money, Kris, if I just had the money, I'm like, I wish I had a quarter every time I heard that. Good God, I would have a. Before we get to the financing, we have to become the savvy borrower that people want to loan the money to. You see, the Kris Haskins of the early 2000s, nobody was loaning money to. It was crazy. Like back in that time in my life, I was applying for loans everywhere and nobody would loan me any money. I'm like, yo, dude, I need money to do this. And they had this thing called the no doc loans back then. That's where we could borrow money without, you could just put down whatever you made, whatever you earned, and they would loan you the money. That's probably the biggest reason why we had that meltdown in 2008. So after I got foreclosed upon several times, I couldn't borrow any money from the credit-based industry. I just couldn't. They weren't going to loan me any more money. That's just what it is. It's just what it is. Ryan Pineda says, Kris, this is just what it is. They weren't going to loan me any more money. So I had to figure out or become, as David Banner told me, I had to become a different being. And the hard thing about life is no one wants to become, just give it to me. My kids say, Dad, can you just give me the answer? No, we have to turn into the being that does the being first before you can. So you have to become something. You have to become something. How do we do that? You got to get in the dark. You got to go below sea level, y'all. You have to become something by going to trainings, thinking about industry, trying to figure out ways to borrow money, talking to people, networking with people, taking different audiobooks. Grow your library. You know what I decided a few weeks ago? I decided that I was going to have the biggest, baddest library in the land. I want to have it to where people are coming to my library to check out books. That's one of my goals. It's so crazy. When I was 2021, you couldn't. Books were like kryptonite to me. I didn't want to read. I ain't doing that. Why would I want to read a book? Now I'm like, give me as many books as you could give me. I'll take them because I know the answers are in books. We have to become something. You have to become the savvy borrower before people will loan you money. That's just how it works. So don't be borrowing ma and pa's money if you don't know what you're doing. Let's take the example. I'm going to give you $150,000, right? If I were to give you $150,000 today, what are you going to do with it? Have you become the person that knows what to do with the money? Ask yourself that question. You have to ask yourself this question. I see people shaking their head. No. Thank you for being honest. Thank you. Thank you for being honest. You have to become the person that knows how to borrow the money. I know it's hard. I didn't want to do that. I don't want to be this person that went out and studied. I don't want to be this person that went out and failed. I don't want to be this person that went out and tried. Why? Because what do I want? What do we all want? We want to go straight to the money, right? So once you do all this, you become something. Then you become the person that does something, that can do stuff. You have to, before you can do anything, you got to become something. Now I know Alex Hermosa says, let's just cut out the be. Let's just get straight to the do, right? Now, I don't know if I want to go that far to do that yet. Now, yes, he's in the part of his life where he just does stuff, and I think we all need to do things just like right now. I'm doing something, right? We're doing something. Do something. Dan Kennedy says, do something. Be somewhere. You got to become something before you can do something. Everybody wants to do this. I want to buy this. I want to buy that. I want to invest in this. I want to do that. I want single family homes, buy real estate. Before you can even buy the real estate, which is part of the do, you have to become in your mind a real estate investor or / a landlord. It's just how it works. I know you're going to get some resistance every time I tell my kids, we got to do this, 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 and this, and this. Oh, Dad. That's called resistance. You're getting some good lessons here, y'all. YouTube, make sure you give me a thumbs up if we're pouring into you today. So, become something first. You got to become something, which will allow you to do something, do some shit, do something. Now that do something here is buy real estate or raise money. So let's talk about the do. Let's talk about the do. Remember at the beginning of our training, the trillions of dollars. How do we locate some of these people? I'm so glad you asked that. My favorite investor is going to be someone with a retirement account. Why? Because they cannot spend the money on themselves until they get to a certain age. So you've got somebody that's got $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 in their retirement account. They have to give it to somebody else. Now, that somebody else could be a Schwab, could be a Fidelity, could be, I don't know, all these other companies in here. Let's see, we got different companies. Vanguard. Or it could be you. Why not you? It says here the average rate of return on these retirement accounts is 4.9%. How many people can beat a 4.9% return on some money in a real estate deal? Right? Everybody can. Well, you should be getting way more than that on a real estate deal. So I'm saying that to say, we find these IRA people that own IRAs, merely by going to the courthouse and doing a search for who is already loaning out money. Now, I can't really get too deep into that here at the session, but I just want to open up your mind. These people exist. They are in the marketplace, okay? And I'm being a little stern with you this morning because I have a finite time on planet Earth, and I want you to get out there and be successful so you can spread this word and help raise our communities. Now, you ask for money, you raise money, you possibly get one or two people that wants to loan you money, and then eventually you'll be able to borrow money like we do. And I'm not saying I'm the best investor. I'm not the biggest. I'm not the baddest. I just happen to be the premier house buyer in Hampton Roads, Virginia. We close on deals in 2 weeks. If you do have a piece of real estate that you want to sell, give us a call. There's a link right at the show notes. You can go to the website and reach us to help you out with a challenged piece of real estate. So now we borrow money with a text message. I get financing through an email. I get financing through a phone call, okay? And I wish the same for you. I honestly do. But before you can have the ease of borrowing money like that, you have to become the person that knows what to do with it. No one's going to trust you with $100, $200, $300, $400, $1 million until you know what to do with it. Is that fair to say? Why would I give you hundreds of thousands? You're going to go over there and screw it off. Why would I do it? Who would do that? Who signed me up for that? And further, why would I invest with someone that doesn't know? Here's the thing that kills me. I don't know, damn, where did it all go? Where did it go? Damn. Why would I want to invest with someone doesn't know where it all went? I don't know where it went to. Well, yeah, let's give you 500,000 so you can not know where that goes, okay? Okay. All right. So, how we looking on time, buddy? 25 minutes. All right, we got a few more minutes. You got to be something in order to do something, in order to have something. The have is what we all want in this class today, ease of financing. Now, there's a ton of ways that we can raise money, but I wanted to just focus on retirement accounts today because that is my favorite type of investor. I have had people call me up pissed, mad at me. Kris, I remember this lady, she was from the Philippines, sweet lady. She goes, Kris, I see you on the internet. Why you not use my money? Why you not use my money? I'm like, whoa, what's going on? I heard that there could be a time in life where people will get mad at you for not using their money. I heard that was a possibility, but I didn't understand it until it actually happened to me. So I was doing deals with this particular investor, then I stopped using her money, and I used some other money. And the reason I didn't use her money because it was just so difficult. Just dealing with, they gave me a hard time. They wanted all this stuff, and I'm like, I got people over here that are just throwing money at me. So the next thing I want to talk about to you is locating these people. We talked about a little bit about IRAs. Going to the courthouse. Let's see, number one, courthouse. Go to the courthouse and you can do a search for different IRA accounts. Now, if you want some further training on doing that, there's a link in the video description to sign up for our email list. I can show you how to do that stuff. Every municipality is different, but you do a search for, just like you do a search at the courthouse to find out who owns a piece of property on a title search. You can pay a title searcher to go down there and do a search for retirement accounts that are loaning money already. And then what do? Ask them to loan you some money. They're already loaning money to other investors to flip houses. You don't have to explain how it works at all. All you do is have to say, hey, this is who I be. This is who I be. Now let's stay in the B real quick. We've got to stay in the B because I firmly believe, as opposed to going out and looking for money, it is best to attract it to you. It is best to attract it. I should have put that. I should have put that up there. I don't like when stuff is low. Everybody at my house gets on my case because I like to put the dishes and everything up high because I've had 2 back surgeries that I don't like going down low. So now here I am talking low. Can y'all put stuff up high? I don't want to go low. Now I'm bending over here. I firmly believe your life will get infinitely easier if you learn how to attract money to you. There's a saying that I learned from T. Harv Eker. Repeat after me. I am a money magnet. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am a money magnet. Thank you, Repeat after me, YouTube. I am a money magnet. Hold your hand up right here. I am a money magnet. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me help you. This stuff works. But you know who it won't work for? The person that won't say it. I'm like, shit, man, I'm going to say whatever they tell me to say. I'm going to do whatever they tell me to do. I'm going to try it. That was me. I have turned myself into a money magnet that attracts financing every day. How? By having a large and unbelievable and extremely good looking, if I might add, social media presence. Okay? So, and it's not because I'm any better or worse than you. I'm just a human being just like you. But how is it that I'm attracting money? Because I've taken thousands of hours to understand how social media works. I've taken thousands of hours to position myself in front of the right people that are possibly interested in doing business with me. So I'd like to ask you, how much time have you spent turning yourself into something that's going to attract the money to you? Well, Kris, I'm just too scared to get in front of the camera. I don't like the way I look. I don't like my voice. I don't like this. I'm too short. I'm too tall. I'm too fat. I'm too skinny. I'm too dark. I'm too light. I'm too this. I got this. How many times are we going to use the excuses when you're still broke? How many excuses can we use? I'm sorry, y'all. I get emotional when we were talking about this stuff because everywhere I go, my community is on the bottom. Everywhere. I do a social media training every 2 weeks. People come on. They've got all these grandiose ideas about doing shows and doing podcasts and doing interviews and camera work and editing and different visuals and different type of themes and different characters. And I'm like, okay, cool. What's your YouTube channel? Well, I ain't started yet. I want to just jump through this camera. If y'all knew the I don't even know I don't even have a word to describe how I feel. Disappointed, sad. I gotta get my adjectives up about how I feel when I hear people say they have these grandiose ideas. We have to understand, ideas are cheap. It's the work that matters. And I know you don't want to hear this. We have to fall in love with the work. I asked my daughter about what she wants to do in her life. She goes, Dad, I just dream in lifestyle. I want to have a lifestyle. I want this. I want that. I'm like, cool, man. I like it. I want all that stuff too. But we need to talk about some of the work that it's going to take to get there. She don't want to hear that. No, Dad, I don't want to do that. She don't want to hear talking about the work. And that's no disrespect. This is no disrespect to my daughter because she is just a little person that is going to grow older just like us. And if she keeps dreaming in lifestyle without Dad telling her this is going to be the work, then that's going to be my responsibility. Then I got to take care of her for the rest of her life, and I ain't doing that. Okay? So the work, what does it take to attract money? Well, it's going to take some time. It's going to take some effort. And possibly it might take a new skill that you might have to learn. Oh, Kris, I got to learn something new. Oh, I learned everything in high school and college. I don't want to keep learning. Why do I got to keep learning, Kris? Well, welcome to being an entrepreneur. Welcome. You don't like that, do you? I wonder. My kid's favorite phrase is, I don't know. I love I don't know. That's not your favorite? I don't know. Okay. You love, as Chris Rock says, you love to not know some shit. You can't say that no more. I've got YouTube. I've got Instagram. I've got social media. I've got Google. Now I've got artificial intelligence to help me figure it out. How much time have you put into becoming the person that attracts money? You got to do it. Or you'll always be going looking. I've got over 1,000 videos on the internet that lets people know what do we do, how we do it, where we do it, and what we can do for them. Well, Ms. Smith, I got an opportunity for you that will possibly make you a high rate of return, backed by real estate and secured by real estate. If you open it up like that, as opposed to, you want to let me borrow some money? So we attract people. Now, I know some of us might be saying, Kris, I'm not necessarily doing a bunch of houses all the time. So how would I attract somebody? Number one, go back to the B. Who are you? What are you becoming? What do you be? I can't use that. Who are you? What do you do? If you are kind of new to the real estate business, do you know you can partner up? There has not been one time that not once has anybody called me and said, Kris, could I just hang out with you at one of your houses and shoot some content? Do you know I would do that? I would be happy if somebody says, Kris, can I just meet you at one of your properties so I could shoot some content with you? It doesn't have to be your house. You could just go say, hey, this is the house we're walking through today. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. It's got this, it's got that, new roof, windows, siding, flooring, kitchen, granite, new paint, carpet, all that stuff. Doesn't have to be your house. Doesn't have to be yours. Why is it that we think we can't shoot any content? You could literally call, I don't like saying literally because you could call a realtor and say, Realtor, I want to go look at some houses today. Do you know they would take you for free to go look at some houses? and they would pay for the gas. So there's no excuse not to get to produce content that's going to attract people to loan you money. Now, you don't have to do, if you don't want to be on camera, you can just do audio. If you don't want to be on audio, you can do a blog. Patrick Bet David told me face to face, Kris, nope, there's no excuse for producing content. If you want to see the video with me and Patrick, I'll put it right here for all my people on YouTube. In conclusion, round up homies, you know I love you. This is nothing but a place of love. There is more money in the system than you could ever borrow. And further, there's more money in the system than there are houses. So, for me, I decided focus on the money wheel because it's trillions and trillions of dollars that I just got to get my hand on 0.001, whatever it is, that little bit to blow my life up, right? Looking for houses, a little bit more challenging for me. I don't enjoy it. I live for this. I live for people moving money around. It might be a day I might move $800,000 around in a week, right? I've developed that skill to do that. That's what we do, right? Yeah, I think that's the most, in a week, that's the most I've moved around so far, about 820. That's my thing now. I move money around all the time. My business partner and my team, they kind of focus on the real estate side because I have learned from hanging out with ultra successful, wealthy people, multimillionaires. It's best to focus on what you do best and let other people do what they do best to help your business grow. Okay, so I focus on the money thing. How's time, buddy? We have 30 minutes yet? All right, so I'm going to keep these sessions here to about 30 minutes. Saturday, 7 o'clock sessions. If you're interested in joining us, there's a link below. You have to apply. I don't want everybody here just hanging out with me. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We've got a whole bunch of other videos right here on the channel teaching you how to grow your real estate empires. You don't have to worry about your credit. I don't want to hear that. With credit, we'll get to that in another session. But subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Peace.